When is the right time to know that, okay, I'm not okay, but now I need help? Because a lot of people shy away from taking that help.
WHO says that about 1 billion people worldwide are suffering from mental health issues. So when you go through emotional imbalance or you have a physical symptom, it's a way of body saying, hello, hold on, listen to me. When stress is there for a few days, it's fine. But when it becomes chronic is something which you suffer for more than 2 weeks. Effect of chronic stress that it has on us. One is the psychosomatic disorders. The second, emotional imbalance, overthinking, irritability, mood swings, they are all gets into that category due to chronic stress, right? And the third is your energy levels becomes very low. No matter what you do, you're tired, you're fatigued. We are just in this rat race, right? Following what everybody else is doing. At the age of 30, I should do this. By the age of 40, I should finish this. By the age of 60, those goals that we are targeting for some reason, right? But we forget that our individual personal needs are not like everybody else's.
Welcome, Dr. Yatri. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Veena, for having me over, especially with such wonderful work that you're doing.
Thank you. And let's straight dive into mental health. Everybody I meet, they're talking about stress, anxiety, and they're saying it's okay not to be okay. But for how long? When is the right time to know that, okay, I'm not okay, but now I need help? Because a lot of people shy away from taking that help.
Yes.
And for that, the first thing is they need to identify that I need help.
Yes.
And when is that time?
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. In fact, WHO says that about 1 billion people worldwide are suffering from mental health issues. And in fact, 25% has surged post-COVID anxiety and depression cases. And we are seeing this, right? 2 in 8 people you meet, they are suffering and they say, we are not happy, we are going through anxiety or depression. Now, honestly, from medical point of view, there are certain signs and symptoms that one needs to notify. Before getting into the real signs and symptoms, I want to mention how intelligent our body is, because our body is actually always throwing signals. So when you go through emotional imbalance or you have a physical symptom, it's a way of body saying, hello, hold on, listen to me. Even if that could be a mild headache or pain or stress in the nape of the neck, or just that day when you just don't feel like meeting anyone, even if it's just initial signals, listen to it. Because that can become much deeper later.
Right.
So there are about 8 to 9 symptoms that one needs to look out for, especially if they suffer for these about 5 symptoms from these 9 symptoms. So let me mention the symptoms first and then the timeline. The first is if you are experiencing sadness or low feeling, right? If you are unable to concentrate on the things that you would easily be able to concentrate. If you have issues in your sleep, it could be too much sleeping or less sleeping. Changes in appetite, too much eating or less appetite. If you are one of those who feel guilty all the time without any reason, right? If you feel you are not being able to connect with your mind and body, right? So that means your mind is thinking something else, your body is thinking something else.
Right.
If you are one of those who has symptoms of continuous, like a low feeling, right? A low feeling without any rhyme or reason, or even mood swings, then if you have 5 symptoms from these about 8 to 9 symptoms, and if you are suffering almost every single day, anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months, you must take an expert help. Go to a psychiatrist, a counselor, psychotherapy, a homeopath, but do something about it.
Right.
It's an alarm. Okay.
Right.
So this is when you will be diagnosed as any of the mental health issue. But I always suggest prevention is better than suffering, right? So why not prevent yourself? Listen to the signals that your body is throwing. Any kind of disharmony in your mind and body is a sign that it needs help.
So pay attention to your body. So physical illness you can identify, but you hardly talk about mental illnesses because people can't see it. But your physical illness is giving you a sign that you may have a mental illness. Yes, and of course you gave these symptoms that somebody can look out for. Okay, so life is challenging, that's for sure. But if the challenge is like every day and you're thinking that you're all alone and you're left alone and there is no way out, and that's the time when you reach out to a professional help, right? You reach out for professional help. Okay, and you spoke about that prevention is better than the cure, right?
Right.
So what kind of prevention? Let's talk about how somebody can prevent themselves from getting into something very severe.
Yeah. So firstly, when prevention is essential, when you experience any kind of disharmony or imbalance, right? When you experience imbalance in what? There are again 4-5 parameters that one needs to watch out. If your appetite is normal, good. But if it's too much, too less, something is wrong. If your motions needs to be clear, no problem in urine, sleep. And finally, your mental balance. So if you find yourself one day really happy and after 10 days really sad and that sadness goes on, that means something needs to be worked on. So when you find any of these 5 general symptoms going wrong, it's a sign that okay, now we need to change something and prevent ourselves. Now per se, what has happened is stress has become like a normal terminology in our lives, right? And we feel, oh, stress is like breathing. But is that true? Absolutely not. Because when our human body is made millions of years back, stress was not even close to it. Right? And now living in metro cities with lifestyle changes and complete like bombarding ourselves with too much content and other things, or overstimulation as we say, stress has to be a part of us because we are in any one of those parameters. So when stress is there for a few days, it's fine. But when it becomes chronic is something which you suffer for more than 2 weeks, the same thing more than 2 weeks, then it becomes chronic. Again, there are 3 signs that one looks out for when you know that you have chronic stress.
Okay.
So with chronic stress, there are 3 effects on your body. One is you suffer from a psychosomatic disorder.
Okay.
Psycho is mind, somatic is body. So for example, diseases like migraine headaches, allergies, when you fall sick quite often, you have some gut issues, either too much diarrhea or too much constipation, severe acidity, reflux, skin complaints like psoriasis, eczema, seborrheic dermatitis, urticaria. If you have like say joint pains without any cause, if you have backache and your X-ray shows absolutely normal, then these are all psychosomatic disorders. There are many more.
Right.
But
these are common ones.
But these are the common ones, and honestly allopathy doesn't have an answer for that because the only answer is maybe suppressing your physical symptoms. Whereas homeopathy has a major answer with that. Right? So I'll come to that, but let me quickly tell you again the effect of chronic stress that it has on us. One is the psychosomatic disorders. The second, emotional imbalance. Like the mental health issues is a next step deeper, but the emotional imbalance is one step ahead of getting into a disease. Before disease, you get symptoms. So emotional imbalance, overthinking, irritability, mood swings, they are all gets into that category due to chronic stress. Right? And the third is your energy levels becomes very low. No matter what you do, you are tired, you fatigue, you feel not up to it, you don't feel like showing up.
Right.
Yeah. So these are the 3 major changes. Now I noticed this, it's been almost 21 years that I'm practicing now, and I noticed this change happening especially post-COVID. So therefore, my approach has always been holistic homeopathy, but it has always been an approach where I can find transformation in patients and not just curing or treating them, right? And so these 3 factors, we target all the 3 factors through an holistic approach. For psychosomatic disorder, there is homeopathy, which works like an individualized treatment or a customized treatment that's given. Number 2, for Emotional imbalance, the psychotherapy. We literally handhold patients once a week, give them lots of tools and techniques, self-work, self-awareness, understanding the root cause through our psychotherapy. And third, for the low energy levels, there is this breath work, Sudarshan Kriya. Now, when you're working on all the three levels and targeting all the three levels,
Right.
that's when you see the transformation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a working on body, mind and soul,
Correct?
right? You're working
Correct.
on all the levels so that a real transformation happens, and it's not just working on the symptoms.
Absolutely, because mental health treatment is not about just treating the symptoms. It is about treating your mind-body connection.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about stress. Let's talk about everyday stress, because I have not come across a single person who says, I'm absolutely calm. I'm
Yeah.
into that Zen mode.
Yeah.
So we also get stress, right?
Yeah.
So let's say we were about to shoot this episode,
Yeah.
and my production team was a little late, and of
Yeah.
course, okay, I'm not saying directly to you, but yes, just in case, I'm giving you a random example.
Yeah.
And the production team is, let's say,
Yeah.
late, and you get into that stress mode. You know, we would be late. There are other meetings that are lined up.
Yeah.
Will it go in time? How would it go? And we are just reinforcing that stress. Okay?
Yes.
And this can be in anybody's life. It can be you're in traffic, you're stuck in traffic, and you were supposed to reach somewhere in time, and
Yeah.
you're late, and that triggers that stress in your mind. I think this is everyday stress.
Correct.
But if this kind of stress, you're saying, that goes on for 2 weeks,
Or
then it
till
can,
6 months.
or till 6 months, then it leads to chronic stress.
Chronic stress
Yes.
and then chronic diseases, both mental and physical.
So everyday life situations can actually lead to a much severe issue.
Right.
We're not even thinking, which means it's important to stop it there.
Correct.
So what do we do to manage everyday stress?
That's a brilliant question. First, understand that we need to balance our personal and professional life. What comes number 2? Understanding what is our priority at that moment and the power of saying no for our own balance of personal and professional life. Third, work on your lifestyle. Right? We don't need to go with what everybody else is doing, because probably that day, if your body is not up to it, and if you're going to go out and binge on outside food, well, it's not going to work for you, right? So check your lifestyle modulation. Fourth, no matter what, exercise every day, movement is the answer in whatever ways. Go for Pilates, go for swimming, nothing, just go for a brisk walk. Even that nothing, go up and down your stairs. You are in a corporate world, you're sitting there, but you can take breaks 10 minutes in between 2 hours. Yeah, climb your stairs up and down. So movement is the answer, right? And most important, sleep, quality sleep. Okay, at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep.
Right. So if somebody thinks that, okay, now I'm stressed from work, let me go back home and binge watch Netflix,
There you
which
go.
means you're increasing your stress level
Right.
and not relaxing actually.
Absolutely, and that means you're not listening to your body signals. That means you're not even bringing the balance that you really want of that day, rather than you are overburning yourself, leading to burnout, then anxiety, depression, goes on and on.
Right. So we cannot imagine a life without stress. That's for sure. It's just that we need to learn to unwind ourselves. We need to
Right.
we need to come back and take care of ourselves. We
Yes.
need to include that movement, that breath work, maybe extra sleep in case you want to, and understand our body cues. That's how we can manage the everyday stress. So imagine कि मेरी life stress free हो जाएगी, that's not possible. But learning these tools
Yes.
will definitely help you from burning out, from reaching to a level where
Right.
you just start feeling so down or so low or so desperate that I'm not able to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself reach that level
Yeah.
that I'm not able to take care of myself.
True.
And I need somebody to come and help me, right?
Yeah.
So are there any levels, like, so this is everyday stress. We spoke about everyday stress. And now if we go one step further, so where do we go?
Yeah. So, okay, I want to also bring and to emphasize this, and bring into consideration or awareness of people, is when you too much concentrate, oh, I'm going through stress, you will definitely go into major chronic stress, right? So if you start taking stress as a part of our life, as if you have to bathe every day, and yeah, stress is there, so what? But instead of making such a big thing and learn how to deal with it, that is where the real change will come. Also, what happens is we are just in this rat race, right? Following what everybody else is doing. At the age of 30, I should do this. By the age of 40, I should finish this. By the age of 60, those goals that we are targeting for some reason, right? But we forget that our individual personal needs are not like everybody else's.
True.
So bringing that into awareness, I am different. I am individualized. I am, whatever I do, my body, my mind is different from others. Accept that and then work on it. Rather than just following what we should do, what we can do.
Or what you would want to do.
Or what you would want to do. Right?
True.
Honestly, I don't like using the word want, because it's, again, want comes from the word of thought of lack, that I want this, so I'm lacking this. But instead, if I desire to do this, it's always a choice you have. You become at ease automatically, even there is no need to think further, right? Because you're at ease, because you have the choice to change at any time. Trust me. So when my patients come to me, that's the first thing I make them aware of. And there have been so many patients that they have left this metro life, they chose to stay in an urban life, yet they are extremely rich, having a beautiful life, a balanced life. It's all about a choice at the end of the day, and no more going for rat races.
Absolutely.
Right? There's also one more point that I want to emphasize on, is the need of treatment for the core issues, so need to treat core issues. That means, just like how we were talking, right? When a patient comes with anxiety or depression, there are certain signs and symptoms. Like with anxiety, mostly a patient would talk about how much they worry all the time, or what would happen with restlessness. There are a lot of triggers, or maybe muscle tension, sleep disorders with anxiety. And depression, there are other kind of symptoms. Now, usually when patient come with such symptoms, what happens is the treatment is only symptomatic base with allopathy, right? But in homeopathy, it's a different kind of treatment. It's more about individualized treatment, treating the core issues. For example, the patients, say there are 3 patients with anxiety, and we just spoke about the signs and symptoms that they have. Right. But all 3 of them will have a pattern to respond to worry, a different kind of pattern, right? And therefore, the treatment or the medicine in homeopathy also changes.
Okay.
So the homeopathy system is per se, it's individualized base, and minimum the dose, better the effect. It is very, very powerful and like an energized medicine. And what happens, we don't consider only the signs and symptoms. We consider the patient as a whole and then treat. So if a patient comes to me with anxiety, I will just not consider the symptoms, but also their traits of how their sleep patterns are, what are their fears, what are their basic personality, how is their thirst, do they have any other periods issue or hormone imbalance. So I'll treat the patient as a whole. And then accordingly give that single remedy, which works very, very powerfully in patients, right? Now, along with that, I also give something I call it happiness drops. That's one of my product. But actually, they are mixtures of bark flower, which works on your emotional, regulation.
Right.
So together, it works like magic.
Dr. Yatri, it's said that homeopathy takes a lot of time. Yeah, it's a slow medication. So is it that if somebody is in urgent need, they should not go for it? And especially if somebody is like really anxious and now, do you think it's going to take a lot of time if they are going for homeopathy?
Okay. So see, homeopathy is actually by far an individualized system that one can take without being like a supportive system with other alternative therapies. And I totally believe that all pathies, homeopathy, Ayurveda, allopathy, Unani, all of them have their own weaknesses and strengths while treating patients. Now, it's a big myth that homeopathy works really slow. Most of the patients who come to us are suffering from either anywhere between 2 years to 10 years. And then they expect us to make them better within 2 weeks. How can that happen? Yet, it also depends on how the homeopathy is working for that patient. There has been time I've been able to treat patients acute anxiety within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, there are certain remedies which helps to, treat patients for their acute phase. For the chronic phase, it could take much longer because we are working on all elements, right? But it's a big myth that homeopathy is slow. In fact, patients with acute diseases like diarrhea and fever, also with homeopathy, we treat within 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
Now, only thing is, homeopathy works well for mental health diseases, for acute and mild diseases. For very severe, I usually practice like a supportive treatment. That means the allopathy is on, with that homeopathy is also on, and slowly we taper it off. Because we don't want to take a chance with patients ever, especially in severe cases, right? So the diagnosis and the physician experience is of utmost importance here.
Right. And for diagnosis, is it recommended that they go to somebody else, or is it like...
So for diagnosis, you need to go to a proper physician, like a MD, psychiatrist, or like how I practice holistic homeopathy. I've also done my post-graduation psychology after homeopathy. That's how I blend the two. So when you say go to a proper, like a doctor or physician who have done something into psychiatry.
Okay. So the...
Rather than psychologist.
Got it.
Psychologists will be the people who will be able to treat only clinically. That means through counseling.
Yes.
Or a mental health coach, again through counseling.
Right.
But when the treatment comes, that's when you need to go to a proper physician who have done something in in psychiatry field, like a MD psychiatrist or homeopaths.
Right. Got it. Okay, now let's talk about something severe, which is depression. Yeah, people say it very, very casually also. I'm depressed, I'm feeling depressed. But depression can actually lead to a lot of other things, like people who are suicidal, they are depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So using this term, first of all, I don't know why people use it like so casually, that I'm depressed.
Yeah.
They need to understand that this is a bigger, it's a very bigger and heavier term. People are just, they're feeling low, or their mood is off because maybe their friend said, "Nee, we cannot go out for a drink," or maybe we cannot go out for a picnic.
Yeah.
And they're feeling low, I'm depressed because my friend said no, that we cannot go out. I mean, okay, maybe you have some stress, which is fine. Your mood is not good, which is fine. But people use this term depression as if it's not that severe.
Yeah.
How severe is this?
Yeah. So depression is a serious mental health issue that one can suffer from. What I understand, especially again post-COVID, is the tolerance level of people have really gone down. And everything is so easy for us to get a tip of a finger, like Insta. If you're hungry and there in 20 minutes something is there, your favorite food, your favorite cuisine will just come at the drop of a hat.
Right.
So when you start getting things so instantly, your patience goes down, your tolerance goes down, and then at the same time that works also on your mind. So if you want to achieve something during that day and somebody has not reciprocated, you say, okay, this is end of it. I want to end my life. It's that simple for them in their brain. So I totally empathize with these kind of people, right? But minute you start getting them into self-awareness mode, understanding exactly where the problem is, that's when truly the better action happens.
Right.
Yeah?
Self-awareness is a very major part, I think. Yeah, people are missing on that self-awareness part,
Yes.
that these small things cannot disturb your core. Okay, you can feel that I'm upset about my friend not listening to me, my
Yeah.
parent not listening to me, my child not listening to me. You can be upset about it. I'm not
Yeah.
saying don't get upset.
Yeah.
You don't have to get upset. Okay, you are allowed to feel upset.
Yeah.
But shaking your core that no, I need it right now. I have
The
met people,
instant
yes,
one that I'm saying.
instant gratification.
Yeah, even gratification. Yes, everything is immediate. Tip of a finger, I got food. Forget food, grocery. Life has become so much better for us, right? We become multitaskers sitting here, managing home and professions. Thanks to all of that, but it also has its own repercussions. So we have to hear a word of caution that instant doesn't happen in your brain. I always tell this, that our mind is like a garden. Okay, our mind is like a garden. Our thoughts are like the seeds.
True.
It is up to us whether we want to grow flowers or weeds in our mind.
Absolutely. So I'll take this again, that and as you mentioned that अगर आप बोलते रहोगे ना stress है. Now imagine what are you planting?
Yeah.
You are actually activating your RAS, which
Yes.
is actually the reticular activation system
Yes.
in your brain.
Yes.
That I'm stressed and it's bad for me, because everyone keeps saying
Yeah.
it's bad for you. But recently there was a study done at Yale University which says that if you think that stress is good for you, it's good for you.
Absolutely.
If you say it's bad for you,
yeah,
it's bad for you.
Yeah.
So how are you looking at stress?
totally agree.
If you're looking at it that
Yeah.
ये सबसे problematic चीज़ यही है, then of course it can actually create a lot of challenges for you.
Yes.
And if you again start taking it as part of your life, then you will sail through.
Yes, yes. In fact, stress is good in a way. Little bit of stress is good in a way. Especially before exams, when you had that stress, that made you sit, study and give exams, right? So little bit of stress, or before that important interview, you get prepared. How do you get prepared? Because that stress is playing. So stress is in fact good also for you. But when stress creates problem is when you start having diseases and other problems, as we spoke about, right? And the body is actually made in that way. Like say if there is some harm, like say if a lion is going to attack, right? What happens? We get physical symptoms similar to stress. Your heart starts pounding, you start sweating, you are ready to fight back, you're ready on the go, right? Adrenaline rush happens in your brain. Yeah. So what is actually happening? You're ready to take away that danger from your life. So that is good stress. Otherwise, we would be so laid back.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Right, absolutely. You mentioned about tiger, but now we have started seeing our boss as that tiger,
Uh-huh.
or maybe started seeing our mother-in-law as that tiger, or maybe started seeing our partner as that tiger attacking
Yeah.
on us, because these are all emotional challenges that we are facing.
Yes.
When somebody says anything which we are not thinking is as per our liking,
Yeah.
we've started taking it as somebody attacking us.
True.
And that's why not able to manage that stress, or not able to interpret maybe what was the intention, or
Yeah.
not taking the entire story into account. And that's why not able to handle the stress, and
Yes.
which leads to burnout, or which leads to some major
Yeah.
illness.
Yeah. Yeah. I also want to mention something. Everything is not about stress or mental issues. It could also be, you could have a physical issue leading to mental issue. For example, if you're going through hormonal imbalance, perimenopause, menopause, you automatically, because of hormonal imbalance, you start feeling restless, mood swings are there, you
Right.
become irritable because you can't, and you're not doing it purposely. Right? You can't control. The actual problem is physical problem, which is hormonal imbalance. So your hormones need to be completely balanced. I can give you other example. Vitamin B12 deficiency can cause symptoms of mood swings and depression. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when a physician experience diagnosis comes into play. It's not always the mind creating all this. It could be that you could actually suffer from some kind of disease which is leading to all these symptoms.
Right.
So a word of caution that there as well, that I would want to mention as a physician.
Absolutely. And this is the body and mind connection again.
That's exactly what
So
I'm
sometimes
talking
it's
about.
your mind troubling the body, and sometimes it's the body troubling your
Yes.
mind, and that's the clear connection between your body and mind.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to be self-aware again.
Yes, and it's always been there. The mind-body connection is always been there. We are not aware. Okay, let me give you an example. Think of a favorite cuisine of yours right away.
It's noodles, yeah.
Noodles? And what did you experience physically?
Yeah, there were
Watering of
yes.
Imagine a thought has connected to your body and created the watering in your mouth.
Yes.
Mind-body connection has always been there. It is we who don't notice it.
Absolutely. And when we start noticing it, then we can actually safeguard ourselves from a lot of severe issues.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, I have this ABCD mantra that I give my...
So what is it? Would
Okay.
like to know.
Yes, so the first step is A, as you have just very rightly noticed and pointed. A is for awareness, okay? Only when you become aware of things, you will be able to go to B. Now that awareness, for example, like say a chronic smoker comes to me and he's been smoking for about 15 years. Every day he picks up that packet of cigarette and it's written, smoking is injurious to health. He might be seeing those dirty pictures on the cigarette packet, but for 15 years nothing just got into him because he was smoking, he's a chain smoker. One day suddenly clicked him, I want to stop smoking. That is his awareness. That's his first step to almost my 50% of my work is done. I know he's going to quit because after 15 years of doing the same thing, finally that A for awareness has set in. Okay? So the first step is A for awareness. B. B is for believing in yourself. That means believe that yes, whatever awareness I've got, I am right about it and I'm going to do it. So that's B, believe.
Right.
Okay. C. C is for choice. C is for change. You always have a choice to change the situation, the event, the problem, the disease. You always have a choice. You have a choice to take consultation from the right physician. You have a choice to do a podcast today in spite of so much work. You have a choice to go through stress or not, to bring the change for yourself. Yes? Ready for D?
Yes, absolutely.
D is for dealing with it. No matter what, just be there for yourself. After the first 3 steps that you've taken, you made a choice, you've brought the change, you've believed in it, you've got awareness. No matter what, just deal with it. Go to a physician, do something about your body, change your lifestyle, lose your weight, get into the right diet, but do something about it and deal with it.
Absolutely. So take action. No?
Yes.
It starts with awareness, and of course, the
Ends with
real
action.
change happens only when you're ready to take that action.
Yes.
Because we know so much. I'm telling you, everybody knows that junk food leads to these
Yes.
many diseases, and junk food leads to overweight, obesity, but they still eat it. So it's not that they don't have knowledge.
Yeah.
The implementation is very different.
And the awareness. That
Yes.
smoking, that's why it's similar to the junk.
Yeah, so you're aware maybe not to that level of bringing in that change, but you know this is harmful, this is not suiting me, you know that in long run this is going to impact my health,
Yeah.
but you still keep doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the environment, maybe because of your people around you,
Right.
whatever your reason is.
Yes.
But you know, knowing and doing,
Yeah.
they're poles apart.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes, always
Yes.
it happens that you have the knowledge, but you're not taking the action. Right? Now let's talk about your happiness drops once again.
Okay.
Do you think that anybody can use it? You don't need to have any severe symptoms
Yeah.
to be happy. You really want to be happy, right? What
Yeah.
is the ultimate goal? Why are we earning? Because we want to be happy. Why are we buying big houses? Because we think that that's going to make us happy.
Yeah.
Why are we buying bigger cars? Because we think that's going to make us happy. Why
Yeah.
are we getting married? Because we feel it's going to make us happy. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the goal is to be happy.
Yes.
Yes. So are these happiness drops that you have?
Yeah.
Is it only for people who are actually suffering? Or
No,
anybody
not
can
at
use
all.
it?
In fact, so first let me tell you, they are non-addictive, absolutely safe medicine for all kind of age groups. Even you have slightest, moderate, like acute symptoms, you can take this. There are certain criteria that you need to follow before you start these happiness drops with us, but everybody can take it. Especially people having insomnia, mood swings, and going through that hormonal imbalance. This works like magic. These drops really, really work well. Again, if you are one of those who are suffering from moderate to severe mental health issue, then I usually do a combination of happiness drops with holistic homeopathy and the breath work. Right? So depending on the patient's severity, depending on the signs and symptoms and the amount, duration of time they have been suffering from, so be the treatment.
Right. And let's talk about breath work in detail now. It's not again that you need to suffer to start doing breath work, right? And especially people who are taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
They do a lot of physical exercise. I've seen people doing a lot of physical exercise, but missing on the breath work.
Yeah.
Only people who are into yoga would be doing or are aware about breath work, but somebody who's a gym freak, let's say, or somebody who's into running, yes, breath work is essential for them as well.
Yes, yes. You know, breath work is that final tool which helps you to fit into that puzzle that the answers that you're looking for, you know. Why so? You know, have you noticed when you're anxious, how is your breath?
Shallow, yeah.
Yeah?
Fast.
Yeah, very fast, fast pacing, sure. Okay. Now think about you sitting in a temple or you're sitting in a church, how is your breath?
It slows down.
It
calms
slows down. Absolutely. So the breath is directly connected with your thoughts and mind. So actually if you think, the mind is the kite and the thread is your breath work. Yeah. So if you pull the kite, it will be in control. So with the breath, you can control your mind and thoughts as well.
Okay.
But if the breath is taught in a certain way, which is like a pattern, that's when you will start seeing the internal, external changes. You'll be able to control your mind very well.
Okay. So if somebody is watching this right now, can we give them one breath work maybe to take away so that they can start practicing it right away?
Done.
And in a situation where they are stressed, because stress is integral part of our lives now. We have to understand that. So let's do a breath work with them.
Done.
And I will do it along, of course.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so there are these two techniques probably I can teach you. Okay. So firstly, when you sit down, you need to remove your footwear and just touch the floor with your bare feet. Okay, that helps you for grounding, by the way. Back straight, palms on your thighs, facing upwards, eyes closed. Take a deep breath in and release it. Take one more deep breath in and completely let go. This time we'll take a deep breath in and we'll say Om together 3 times. Deep breath in. Once more. Last time wholeheartedly. Just focus on your breath going in and out. Let go any thought coming your way right now and just focus on your breath. Incoming breath energizes your body. Outgoing breath completely relaxes your body. Imagine with your breath in, beautiful light flows in. With every breath out, you remove the darkness from your body. With every breath in, you breathe in happiness and joy. With every breath out, you remove your sadness and frustration. Incoming breath energizes your body. Outgoing breath completely relaxes your whole body. Let your whole body be energized and relaxed. Take a deep breath in and let go. Become aware of your body and surroundings. And with a big smile on your face, as and when you feel complete, slowly and steadily, you may open your eyes.
And this was so relaxing, so calming. You can feel that calmness within yourself, and your voice is so wonderful, so soft.
That's
You can actually feel it to your heart.
Thank you so much. Really, yeah, I'm glad you could feel the difference even in few minutes.
Yes,
But
I'm
that's the power of breath work.
sure. Very powerful. Yes. So, Dr. Yatri, how did you start your journey?
Oh,
I know it's 21 long years, but I'm sure when you were starting, there are thoughts coming in your mind that whether I should start this, that,
Yeah.
Everybody at one point in their life, they are at
Yeah.
a junction where are thinking,
yeah.
karna hai, nahi karna hai. So what were your thoughts?
So honestly, I've been a very lucky person. I think my journey, just like my name Yatri, is just completely made. As long as I remember, I always wanted to be a doctor, always. I come from a family where there are a few doctors in our family as well.
Okay.
But homeopathy was not my first choice. I'm being very honest about it. Then we figured out, how 12th I didn't get really great percentage. And I was ready to go for to be an architect, though I didn't want to because that was the only choice.
Okay.
And then I remember my dad taking the sign on a form for homeopathy because he believed in homeopathy right from beginning.
Okay.
And that's when, we applied and I got in one of the top best homeopathy college of India. It's called CMPH.
Okay.
And again, to my sheer luck, when I passed out, that's when homeopathy was really booming. Like patients would not go to GP but come to a homeopath instead. And so I thanked my stars. Mental health, post-graduation psychology, again, there's a very lovely story to it. In 2000, there was an earthquake in Kutch.
Right.
Right? We all know about it.
Yes.
I didn't even have, I'd just finished my 4th year, no internship, no certificate, nothing. As I said, I come from a family of doctors. There were 10. One of my uncle, he's a doctor. And just to do seva as a help, he said, there are another 9 doctors. Yatri will be the 10th. Let's go and help them. I don't know how my parents allowed. I was really 22, 23. We got a private jet and we landed at Kutch. And when I landed in Bhuj, I was shocked to see everything shattered. Everything shattered, and it was chaos. That was a life-changing moment for me because, I was posted in a hospital called Bidda. If any of you are Kutchis, you will know it's a very well-known hospital, very well managed. And there, I noticed just by talking to patients, they would feel 60% better, someone having a fracture, someone's leg amputated, and just by talking. And I really remember, like, this child was 9-month-old, leg amputated, moaning whole night, crying. And other bed, there was this lady. She was about maybe 60s, 65 plus, and her whole family had died during earthquake. And I got both of them together. I said, now you both are a family for each other. That tears of joy in our eyes. I said, the first thing I'll do is finish my post-graduation psychology, and this is what I want to do. So that's how my life is really, I've been very lucky. Same way, I just finished my post-graduation psychology, Almost within a week, I had a job in Times of India as the youngest counselor of Times of India as a homeopath as well. So touchwood, things have been great and hoping to help more and more people.
Of course, and now you are helping a lot of people. And through this podcast also, you've been able to help a lot of people. I'm telling you, because, you know,
Yes.
people need to know more. We need to talk more about mental health.
Yes.
People are not really open talking about mental health.
Sure.
Because the symptoms that you mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I'm telling you, so many people go through these symptoms, but they keep overlooking. They keep
Yeah.
overlooking, and when they break down one day,
Yeah.
there is a moment when it comes in their life that they say, no, I am not ready to take this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the time when they realize that, you
Yeah.
know, something is terribly wrong. And when I ask them, or when anybody would ask them that, why didn't you realize earlier? They said, pata nahi chala yaar. Because people are living life in autopilot mode.
Yes.
So chal raha. And they think this is the way of living life. Because I keep meeting a lot of people, and I see that, you know, after 10 years, maybe they realize,
Yeah.
you know, this was happening at that time, I did not
Yeah.
notice. And when it becomes unbearable, then they just approach somebody.
True.
So I think, yes, we need to talk more about mental health. And thank you
Yes.
so much for talking about it today with us and helping so many of us who are watching this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a ton.
And in case you like this episode, and in case you feel that we've been able to add value to your life, please don't forget to subscribe, share and like. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
See you.